What's up, crypto geeks, and welcome to another exciting video. I have a lot of news for you guys today. Actually, two major things we're going to talk about. The first one is about this blood red market and the potential, or the so talked about, hacking of Bitcoin from the hijackers of the pipeline. So I'll tell you what exactly happened there. And the next big one, and it's huge for XRP and Ripple, is that the SEC is actually trying to threaten the actual court, Judge Nutburn, by saying that if they don't win, this is going to be a huge blow to the SEC, and they're not going to be able to do their job. I'll go over all of this with you in this video, but let me start by saying that please click that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out, helps promote this video, and the YouTube does their thing. And if you can really help me out in clicking that join button, I know it's $5, doesn't do much, but it helps out. Every little bit helps out. So if you can do that, I would appreciate it. I'm obviously not a financial or legal advisor, so always do your own research. I'll start by talking about the first point here, and that point is about Bitcoin. If you've actually read the reports about what happened with Bitcoin and how the FBI was able to retrieve a big chunk of the ransom that was paid to the hijackers of the pipeline, if you look deeply into what happened there, you will find out that the FBI was not able to retrieve the whole amount. In fact, they were only able to retrieve a small section. And the reason for that is that they weren't actually able to hijack the Bitcoin blockchain. The only thing they were able to do is hack the computers and the system of the hijackers, and whatever money was left in their wallet, they were able to send it back to the Department of Justice. So it was not a compromise of Bitcoin by any means. Rather, it was an actual hacking of the system, which means nothing to the security of Bitcoin. Bitcoin remains secure, and this will be talked about more in depth in the coming days. You have to remember what's happening with the market right now is absolutely normal. Guys, what I want to let you know that the big thing that's going to happen in the coming weeks, the fact that El Salvador is actually, and a bunch of other countries are considering using Bitcoins as legal tender is huge. It's beyond what most people think. In fact, think about it like this. Those countries are going to benefit enormously because they're going to be one of the first countries where people will actually be able to buy products with Bitcoin. Now, moreover, those companies that are within Salvador that are accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, they may offer opportunity for outsiders, other countries, to buy products with Bitcoin through them, which is a big advantage for companies within El Salvador, and good for people that are trying to use their Bitcoin as legal currency outside of Salvador. Think of it, if you try to buy a backpack, for example, you can use your Bitcoin to buy a backpack out of Salvador or any other country that chooses to make Bitcoin legal tender. This is big. Once this goes into effect, it's going to blow this Bitcoin market out of waters. Think of it, one company, Tesla, when they announced that you could buy a vehicle with Bitcoin, Bitcoin blew up. Imagine an entire country saying, we're going to allow you to buy everything within our country with Bitcoin. This is massive, massive news, and I think it's underrated as to what people actually think of it. It's just, oh my God, El Salvador is considering using Bitcoin as legal tender. This is a big deal, and it's actually changes the entire market. So great news there. The other point, or the other thing that we were going to talk about, was XRP and the SEC actually threatening the court to in the lawsuit against Ripple. In fact, in the news article that was recently reported, that SEC is telling the court, listen, there were 70 cases before Ripple that we won. This case is no different, and we need to win this case in order for us to be able to maintain doing our job. So in essence, what the SEC is trying to tell the court is that if we lose, we're not going to be able to do our job. And this is, I know the SEC, they have their head so high that they think they're unreachable. But I think what Judge Nutber is going to do is make an example of the SEC. She has the obligation and the duty to enforce court and legal orders within her realms and her practice. No one has the right to pressure the court into making a decision in their favor. That would make the court completely useless and invalid. And she sees beyond that. Again, I talked about this in my last videos. Judge Nutburn is not a regular judge. She's not, a new judge and new into this field. She's dealt with much, much bigger issues than the SEC and Ripple. And I brought up this in my last couple of videos. She's dealt with cases involving countries. She's dealt with a case involving Saudi Arabia, 9/11, and some crazy, crazy cases under her belt. So she's not going to be afraid of the SEC if she dealt cases involving entire countries and entire governments. So this is a very mad move by the SEC. In fact, it makes the SEC seem like they are not about proof and evidence and not really about proving that XRP is a security rather than going after their own agendas that don't necessarily fall within the realms of what's legal and what's not legal. It falls under who do I prefer and who do I not prefer. And it actually falls under what Ripple was saying at the very, very beginning, is that they were specifically targeted by the SEC with this lawsuit in order to push their opponents, whether, or their competition. But again, the SEC thinks they're so smart by trying to threaten the court and threaten Nutburn. But again, I think this is going to come back, slap them right on the face there. And they're going to find out that, within the legal system, still the United States legal system to this day is a fair and relatively controlled legal system. And I mean, the court has its jurisdiction and its own powers, and the SEC seem to think they're above those powers. And this is unfortunate that this is happening with Jerry Gensler as the head of the SEC. Very, very shameful, and it's completely saddening. Thinking that Gary Gensler was going to come in and change things and fix the SEC, and now he's pushing the SEC even into a worse image and a worse shape, and making them do things that no one imagined. Gary Gensler, an educated person there and a professor supposedly in crypto, would push the court to try and just target his own personal goals or the own personal goals of the SEC rather than what is legal. Especially with Congress right now making it clear that there isn't any regulation for crypto and that they're working on regulation right now. So it's clear that there was no notice given and that XRP and Ripple was not aware of any wrongful conduct. But again, this is not going to play out well for SEC. And I think they're out for a big, big slap in the face and a big bucket of cold water being thrown at them there. So I just wanted to keep you guys up to posts, let you know what's going on. Don't you worry about the red market. Things are going to change soon. How soon? I think probably in the next days or maybe even in the next hours. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please click that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And follow me on Twitter. It's Crypto Geek News. I keep you posted minute by minute as to what is going on. And make sure you click that join button if you can. I know not everybody can, but if you can, it helps me out and keeps me, motivated and keeps me going there, creating the best content and videos for you guys. Thank you, and see you in the next one.